name is Trish Chalmers, and I'm manager of client events at Pitney Bose. So welcome to the Global Technology Center. With every guest that we invite to our building, we introduced them first to the first postage meter. This was the invention of Arthur Pitney. Arthur Pitney spent over $90,000
On this thing?
on this product right here, and invested everything that he had into this product. So we'd like to introduce everybody to it, and I'd like to welcome you into the Global Technology Center.
That's cool. So that's the first postage meter ever in the world.
First postage meter, right there.
There's Marifer. We're periscoping and videoing at the
Okay.
same time. You have a
So-
whole camera crew with you now.
Back in the day, the United States government didn't recognize postage meters. They looked at stamps as money, and they wanted to make sure that they kept track of every dollar. So while Mr. Pitney was losing his patents because the government didn't allow mechanical stamps, he was introduced to Walter Bose. Walter Bose was from England and was very well connected in Washington. He owned the Universal Stamping Machine Company. His company produced machines that actually drew the red lines through stamps so that you couldn't reuse them. Mr. Bose wanted to expand his business. The two of them met, and with Mr. Bose's help, the United States government in 1920 passed the bill allowing mechanical stamps on first-class mail. It wasn't until the end of the year that the United States Postal Service recognized it. Mr. Pitney and Mr. Bose and Mr. Walter Wheeler, who was the stepson of Mr. Bose, went down to present to the post office, and with the patent that Mr. Pitney had on the ascending and descending counters on the meter, the United States Postal Service authorized its use.
So basically, they took chocolate and peanut butter and made the the postal system as we know it today.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yep. So this is actually where our early manufacturing started. This was the Universal Stamping Machine Company, and it was located in Stamford, Connecticut. That ended up being the cornerstone of Pitney Bowes' main plant, which ended up being over 22 acres in Stamford of manufacturing. You probably were out on the manufacturing floor, so this was early manufacturing at Pitney Bowes, and you can see our conditions have improved greatly over the years.
Just a few technological advances since then, huh?
Yep. So with the postage meter, we created the mailing machine, and this was the conduit in which the mail passed through. This is the meter here. As the mail passed, the postage mark or the indicia would be placed on the envelope. We've gone through our rebranding.
Wait, here's the bathroom.
We just rebranded our company, but this was actually our first company logo, which was known as the the PB Mark of Excellence. It has an oval shape, and it is represents the actual postage mark that our meters placed on an envelope. So oval is a very important shape to Pitney Bowes. This is Walter Wheeler. We refer to Mr. Pitney as the inventor. Mr. Bowes is the businessman. But Walter Wheeler, who was the stepson of Mr. Bowes, we refer to him as the heart of the company. And probably one of our top salespeople, because with the presentation to the post office, it was Walter Wheeler that sold the meters so that every post office in the United States has a Pitney Bowes meter in it. It's our top salesperson.
Hello, Walter. Good job, sir. Right?
Yes.
He'd make quite a commission today, huh?
So Walter Wheeler took over and became president during the war, actually during the Depression. As things got a little tough business-wise, he refused to lay off one employee during the Depression. He actually went to the board of directors and made everyone on the board of directors take a pay cut.
Wow.
So that he could save every employee.
Where were you on 2008?
But with this, he also turned our manufacturing facilities during the war completely over to the war effort. And with that, he did such a great job that the United States government asked Mr. Wheeler to come to Washington, D.C. and head up the operations on the East Coast for the war effort.
Wow.
So he was gone from Pitney Bowes for 4 years, and he was paid $1 per year by the U.S. government to do so.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so during this time, we didn't manufacture any Pitney Bowes equipment, but we did create the Vmail, which was a mark that we would place on an envelope so that we could get letters to soldiers first. Some of our early advertising is very sad, letters can come too late. So with the V, the post office
Right.
expressed the mail out to our soldiers.
This is incredible, the history of this company.
Yep. So being a large manufacturing facility in Stamford, the unions were always trying to, get into the building. But Walter Wheeler, the heart of the company that he was, created the Council of Personnel Relations, which was a way that every employee could express their opinions and get right up into his office if they needed to speak with him. And with that, he would invite the unions in every year to make their presentations, but because we had such a wonderful organization within Pitney Bowes, it was always voted down because our employees always had a voice. In 1950, we went into the New York Stock Exchange, and we just had the pleasure of ringing on our 95th birthday, the bell on the New York Stock Exchange. We have some historic pieces that we've manufactured. We have check sign, well, this is the desk DM model.
These are the real ones.
Yes. So we have, its advertising is here. So instead of large companies using our postage meters, we were now marketing to small club women, small banks, doctors' offices. So instead of having to lick and stick a stamp, you had a postage meter right in your office that did the work for you.
This is, I mean, not for nothing, but how many hundreds of people throughout history have used this? And it's like, I know it's like a weird moment, but it's like kind of cool.
Yeah, oh, it's very cool. And with having, so many customers in the building, they truly enjoy the history on
Yeah,
where we were and where we are now.
it's incredible.
We have check signing equipment for us two past presidents. We have Richard Nixon, and if you can see in here, here's his signature. So it would, at a high rate of speed,
Oh, wow.
pass the checks through. And President Richard Nixon and President Jimmy Carter's signatures would then be on the checks.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we've gone into our last logo, which is actually we referred to as the Blue Max, which represented the intersection of paper-based and electronic communications. So even back in the 70s, we knew that eventually transactions would be done electronically. One thing I want to showcase over here, and if you can maybe just pan back down the hallway, these are our United States patent plaques. So these are the patents year by year, and these are
Oh my God, all of those?
yeah, these are our engineers year by year and their patent numbers. One nice thing about having customers come into the Global Technology Center is I have C-suite executives, I have technical people, I have operations people, and when we get into talking about a product, I can usually pull the engineer that created that product right into the meeting.
Amazing.
Yep.
I mean, the credibility
Yeah.
is
Oh,
incredible.
A lot of smart people in this
Yeah.
building. So, electronically, we've gone from where we had to carry the postage meters to the post office, when you had to have the postage refilled, to our creation postage by phone, which was an electronic way for customers could transfer their funds to us, and then we would give them a code and download their postage into their meter, which saved them a lot of time so that they didn't have to take that trip to the post office carrying a very heavy meter.
Right.
And just a little FYI, the postage by phone banks were located right here in this
Really?
building. Yeah.
Give us some more FYI's fun facts that nobody knows.
Fun facts that nobody knows. I started with Pitney Bowes Management Services, which we recently spun off into its own company, Novitex. So in 1989, I started with Pitney Bowes Management Services, and I actually worked at IBM in Southbury for the company.
Okay, well, this is the most important spot of the timeline, everybody. Yay! We should Photoshop you into this photo.
There you go. Talk about starting in the mailroom. Yep.
We're actually in the middle of an event, so
Yep.
that's why there's people walking around.
So, through time, we've acquired a lot of companies. Group 1 Software, which we're now known by Software Magazine as one of the top software companies in the United States. This is Pitney Bose Pre-Sort Service Facility in Dallas location. And about 5 years ago, they experienced a terrible fire that they lost everything in the building and all its mail. All these machines, which are sorters, were manufactured right here in this location, and we got them out as quickly as possible. But we had one of their customers do a testimonial at one of our open houses several years ago and said it was probably Pitney Bose's finest hour because none of our mail stopped. Instead of it going into the Dallas location, it actually went to other pre-sort services, so we still got our postal discounts, and how quickly they were up and operating right back in Dallas. So all that equipment is manufactured right here in Danbury, Connecticut. We've gone recently into partnership with HP, where we're producing the IntelliJet printing system, which is a full-color variable data printer that can print.
That's Julia.
There's Julia Mowry, right there.
Julia!
Yeah, print over 450 feet per minute of full-color variable data. So it moves so fast you can't even see the paper move. So. And then we get down into some even older technology we've got here.
Oh, I remember Volley. That came and went pretty fast.
Yeah. So here's some of our old technology. We actually don't even know what this is.
Wow.
But it's got the Pitney Bose name on it. We have some old mail scales and letter openers. Some an old postage.
It still works.
Still works. I don't know if the postal rate's the same though.
First class, 5 cents, 15
Yep.
cents.
Yep.
Oh, just a little
Old
more.
meter and some old.
What is this? A cutter?
That is a letter opener.
Oh, wow.
So you would stick your letter in, and then it would slice it open.
Okay.
Yeah.
Note to self: don't
Yep,
put fingers
don't put
in there.
finger in.
And this is a postage meter. And stamps came out of here.
No, it would sit into an actual mailing machine.
Oh.
So as it rotated down here on the bottom, this was what would leave the indicia on the envelope.
Gotcha. So it's officially indicia, not indicia? You're
I
saying
say
it now.
I say it both ways.
Oh, so there's
Like
no
potato,
official?
tomato, tomato.
The indicia, indicia word.
Indicia.
Everybody on Periscope, is it indicia or indicia? Chime in.
Yep. So, but this is actually our oldest piece right here. This is pre-Pitney Bose. This is Arthur Pitney's postage meter and mailing machine from the American Postage Machine Company, which is the company he started when he created the postage meter. The engineers that brought this over said that if we plugged it in, it would actually work, but I've not tried it.
Right.
So this is from 1916.
Wow.
And then we have one of the first Pitney Bose mailing machines and postage meters, and this was at the model AV. And here, this is what allowed the post office to grant us permission to put mechanical stamps, which was the ascending and the descending counters, so that everybody was assured that they got the money that they were owed.
Right.
So,
Amazing.
yeah. And then down here, we get into the age of insertion. This is the model and inserter from 1956. One of our service representatives, who was, I believe, 90 years old, was in the building, and he actually serviced this machine, which was located at Reader's Digest in New York.
Wow.
Yep. So this could insert 8,000 an hour back in 1956.
Wow. I mean, my grandparents got Reader's Digest.
Yes.
So
Oh,
technically, this is very cool.
Yep. Yep.
Marifer, you're the best for giving me the tour.
And then one thing we like to show too is we lost 4 employees in the World Trade Center on September 11th. David, Syed, Howard, and Paul, and they actually worked for Pitney Bose Management Services, and they were in the building servicing their customers.
Wow.
This memorial was created at our Newtown Distribution Center, and this is actually the thumbprint of all the employees in the building. When we moved distribution from Newtown, Connecticut to Indiana, we went in and we cut this off the wall in their building and brought it over here and framed it so that we could remember them every day.
You just gave me chills. I mean, what a fantastic tribute to a horrible situation.
Yeah. So every customer meets and sees employees. So, and you've already been in the demo room. Okay.
So thank you so much. There was so much history here. I really appreciate it. You're taking the time on 2 devices that we have going here. I know we were a little bit difficult. Can people learn about the history of Pitney Bowes on your website, or is there
There's
any
several.
way?
If you were to just pull up Mr. Pitney or Mr. Bose, there's some historic information, and there's a book, The History of Pitney Bowes. It's a little red book. It's a little bit difficult reading. I believe it's probably from the 40s, which goes a little bit deeper into their relationship as well.
Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank
Have
you
a
for
great
coming.
day.